Hey guys, thanks for coming back. Well, I've had a little episode again. Yeah, you notice it's been a while since I've been on here. I'd say about a week and a half, and I haven't even gone out in the garage and played with the car in a week because I had a little mishap. When I was changing the motor over from the stand to the hoist, I guess I had the boom out just a little bit too far. I never showed you guys what happened. That's why it seems like I skipped quite a bit in there. I had it on camera. No, I'm not going to show it to you. But the whole boom just did that and took a dive, and the pan kind of raked across the bottom of the engine stand and then hit on the arm of the hoist, and most of it was on the bottom of the bell housing. But I got a couple little dents in it. One dent was enough to make it so where the front counterweight for number 1 and number 5, the counterweight up there, it was hitting on the bottom of the pan because I went to rotate the pan and it got really hard. And that's when I put a straight edge across it and I realized how much it cupped up there. Let me show you what I did to the darn pan. So this is after straightening it. I got the bottom part here except for one little bit of a dent left here, and I think that's going to be fine, and I'm going to leave that alone. I got the one over here. I didn't get it all quite out of the edge, but I'm going to leave this alone. And this is the one where it really got it, and it was dragging on the inside of the pan right there. Don't know if you can see it, but oh, here we go. It was dragging on the inside of the pan right there. You see that line going acrossways. So, needless to say, I had to pull the pan off, and I'm not done kind of pulling the dent. I guess I'm done pulling the dents out. What the heck, you know? This is where the front of the pan sat on the bottom of the garage floor, and the rust ate into it. Oh, you know, I'm going to have to look for another pan, but for now this one's going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to put some paint on it, put it back on the car, and then we'll start again. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and get more on this. I'll get the manifolds on here. The steering box is in the way now of the stock manifold up on the front tube on number 1. Right here. So I'm going to drop the steering box off. I'll put the headers on that I have for it, fire it up, and then I'll go ahead and I'll build my other headers for it. It'll clear my steering box. And let me see. I got a few things here you can watch. I'm putting on my oil filters. I'm putting on my oil cooler that I got. But that's all I really have for you. Don't be hating on me too much, please, because, you know, it took a lot for me to get back out here and pull the pan off of that. I had to walk away from it. I really did. It seems that I take 2 or 3 steps forward and then I take a step back. But that's okay. That's okay, as long as it's a learning curve. I don't know how that engine hoist thing on there could be a learning curve when I've done that a few times, putting flatheads on that, from that engine stand onto that hoist. It's just, I don't know, I just don't understand. Go ahead and watch that, and I'll be back with you after. I think I'm mentally stable enough to come out here and get rolling on this darn thing again. I've been playing around with these nut inserts right here. There's the handle for them, and they're working pretty good. But first I got to say sorry about the handheld. Anyway, here's the 2 Wix filters in relationship to where comes out of the motor there. and the hose is just sitting here. I'm going to have to still trim it down, but down there is where we got the fan, and it's sitting inside the frame rail. I've already got 2 nut inserts, or thread inserts, or whatever you want to call them, in this side here. I've got the fan held up with the floor jack on the back side so it's level with the frame. And that's where it's going to live for a while. The fuel pump you see there, that lived right here, and I kind of made a mistake, but I'm redoing the hydraulic clutch setup anyway, but that's my mount there for the hydraulic clutch. There. That's the mount for the hydraulic clutch, and now it won't fit in there with the oil filters. And I didn't have the exhaust on either, so right here is where the muffler sits. Looks like I'm going to be building those other headers whether I like it or not, because I'm not going to put this together with, well, there's what's left of my tube. I'm not going to put this together with anything on the outside of the frame rail. I'm just going to keep it clean the way it is, all the way down the frame rail. I'm going to go ahead and work at getting this mounted on the back side. Oh, here, let's see. Let me show you. All the way back here, between here and where I have the tape up on that rail. I have a triangulated support on both sides of the frame rail here that connect with this cross member I put in. And that's what it's going to mount to. I'll have to be creative on the mount because I want to support it out here also as much as possible. So I'm going to have to go in the shed and figure that out. When I do, I'll go ahead and bring you guys back and keep you updated, but for now, there's that, and there's the filters. Here is going to go over here, and it's going to plug into the sending unit that's going to plug in right here at the outlet, because we're just going to go in here. Nothing's tight yet. We're going to go in here with a plug that's drilled and tapped, 1/8" pipe thread for a sending unit. The old sending unit was here when it went on that Franz bypass oil filter. So I still want to keep that sending unit down here, but the other sending unit that I've got, I'm going to put up in the top of the block where the original one mounted. Get my wire harness out of the way here, and right in there, straight up from that fitting with that hydraulic line right there. There's a hydraulic line, and you can just see the reflection off it right in the center of the screen now. But that's the other fitting up there. That's where the oil goes back into the motor. I've ordered a few more pieces that I'm going to need to complete this. Some more AN fittings. And the very last one, I gave it about 10 pops with that center punch. And it's a spring-loaded center punch, and it just doesn't look like it did the job. Oh, there we go. tipped it over just a hair, but I think it'll be okay. I think I might have got it straightened out enough to still stay towards the center of the support. Here's the tool. There's the insert in there. You don't want to leave it too far apart, the handle too far apart, or you won't be able to. Is this thing still on? Yep, it's still on. Sorry. Won't be able to squeeze it if you leave that thing too far apart. And you could always just tighten it up a couple more turns. When you put the bolt in it and crank it down, you'll feel it pull down any additional if it needs it. There. And that's where we're going to put our back end of our cooler mount. And all I'm going to do is use a coupler for a spacer. It's just under 1 inch long. And you know, when I was just recording this, I looked back here and man, this thing is dirty. The pumpkin's painted the same color as my car and you can barely see it in there. About it. Well, that's all the damage I think I'm going to do for right now. I'll leave the paint as it is. Not much more I can do with it. Ain't no reason to make it look super pretty, but anyway, I can't help it. I'm just disappointed in myself. But things happen. I had to take a step back for a reason. Don't hate me too much because I didn't go out in the garage for a week. Wait for the garbage truck. You know, after the garbage truck went by, I forgot where the heck I was, but thank you so much for joining me. It is what it is. What can I say? Even though I hate that saying. So, after I get the pan on it, headers, a little bit of plumbing, some oil, and some wiring, and I think we'll be about ready. So, join me next time, Flatead Ron's Garage, and we'll see if we can get just a little bit farther without me messing something up next time, okay? I hope. I'm gonna have to put a no Bozo sign because he just keeps showing up around here and anyway. Until next time, this Ron. Be safe in the shop, guys. Okay? If you're gonna move big stuff, get another set of hands, another set of eyes. Make sure you're doing it right, because you might not realize it, but there might be a problem staring you straight in the face and you don't see it. Yep. I'll see you next time here at Flatead Ron's Garage. Have a good one. Bye.